In this video, we have extra exercises about photosynthesis, the whole lesson of photosynthesis, and I have made extra exercises that can be for a worksheet or for a test, and they can be suitable. Some of them for grade 4 or 5, even 6 and 7. It depends on the question itself. Let's start. First, we have choose the correct answer. Choose the correct answer. You have only one answer to choose it. The gas released by the chlorophyll plants during photosynthesis is gas released. It means that when plants make photosynthesis, which gas they will give. So released, it means gives. Do they give carbon dioxide, oxygen, or nitrogen? The answer will be oxygen, because oxygen is the one released by the plants so that the other living things, they can breathe it. Photosynthesis happens so here, in which part of the plant photosynthesis happen? Does it happen in roots, stem, or leaves? Okay, so where does photosynthesis happen? It happens in the leaves, in the roots. We don't have any action that happen except for the absorption. In the stem, we don't have any process except for the translocation or transportation of materials needed by the plant. So only we have the leaves. Let's continue. Part number 3. We have which of the following part is not storage part for starch. Pay attention. When you have choose the correct answer and in its negative form, that means you have to choose the wrong one. So here they are asking which part is not storage. So you will search which part does not store the starch. Does it fruit? Is it fruit, roots, or tubers? Fruits, they store storage and the nutritive material. Roots, they absorb water and minerals. Tubers, they store starch. So which one does not store? It's the roots. This is the correct answer. Fill in the blanks. So here we have missing word that is in every sentence. This question, it depends on your understanding and your study for the lesson. That's a very important question because it helps you remember the information and it depends on memory. And also it's a good question to collect more marks. To detect the presence of starch in the leaves, we use. So to know if we have a starch or not, what do we use? Which test? If you remember, we took that for the starch, we have one test which gives the dark blue, which is called iodine test. So the iodine test is the one that helps us know if we have starch or not. To make photosynthesis, plants need. So what do plants need to make photosynthesis? They need carbon dioxide, okay, and pay attention that they put for us 1, 2, 3, and finally they wrote water and minerals. So we have to fill in the blank the other needs. First, we have the carbon dioxide. Second, we have chlorophyll, which is the green pigment inside the leaves that capture the energy from the sun. Also, we have one important need, which is the light. And finally, they wrote for us the water and mineral salts. These are the needs of photosynthesis. Now, the sap is transported downward in the plant. If you remember, we have studied that we have two sap in the plant. We have the crude that has the water and minerals, and we have the elaborated that has the food. So which one is transported downward? Downward, it means from up to down. So which one is made up? It's the elaborated because it's the food that is made in the leaves that they are up in the plant. So here it is elaborated sap is transported downward the plants. These are the answers of this question. Now we have another question that depends on a document. Let's see what is this document. Observe the following document and answer the questions below. We have a picture. This picture we have plant, oxygen and arrows out. We have sun, energy, leaves. He wrote for us chlorophyll, sugar, carbon dioxide, and arrow that is down inside. This is the stem. These are the leaves. These are the roots. We have water arrow in, and we have minerals arrow in. The first question is put a title for the above document. Once you look at this document, which suitable title you can say? If we look at this picture, we can understand that this is a picture in which plants or this plant is making its own food. So since it makes its own food, I can put the most perfect title is the name of the process in which plants make food, which is photosynthesis. So title, it can be photosynthesis. Pick out from the above document. When I have pick out, that means the answers are in the document, in the picture, in the paragraph, in the graph, in a table, whatever. In this question, I have picture, so the answer is in the picture. I only have to pay attention and then pick the name. The gas absorbed by the leaves. Gas absorbed by the leaves. If you look at the leaves, absorbed, it means taken by the leaves. So since it's taken, you should look at the arrow that is pointed inside out toward the plant. So the arrow is the red one. The carbon dioxide, it's toward the plant. So here I can say that the gas absorbed is the carbon dioxide. Then we have the gas released. When I have gas released, that means I have to look at the arrow that is pointed away from the plant, outside. So this arrow is here, the white one, which is oxygen. So the answer will be gas absorbed carbon dioxide, gas released is oxygen. Released, it means given out. Pick out, I'm still with pick out. The substance is absorbed from the roots. From the roots, let's look at the roots. These are the roots. What are the substances absorbed? Absorbed again, taken. So arrow inside, it's water and mineral. So the substances are water and minerals. I'm still with the same question. Pick out the needs of plant. Needs of plants. What do plants need? Yani all the arrows that are pointed into the plant. So this is another arrow. It's the sun or the light. Another arrow in carbon dioxide. Another arrows water and mineral. So I have three needs: sun, carbon dioxide, water, and minerals. And also because they put for us chlorophyll, that means it's also needed in this process, which is a pigment inside the leaves. So I will write also the chlorophyll. Finally, with the same question, the products of plant. Products of plant, يعني what do plants give when they make photosynthesis? So what do plants give? Look at the arrows that are toward away from the plant to outside. Oxygen and the sugar. Sugar, as you can see, it's outside and then in because the sugar stays in the plant. It does not release out, but it is produced by the process of photosynthesis. Now, I have another question. Name the pores, for example, that are on the leaves through which the gaseous exchange happen. So these pores, this question name, it does not depend on what you see in the picture, it depends on your study. So from our study, we can say that it's the stomata that are responsible for the gas exchange. Now, draw on the above document the pathway of crude and elaborated sap. On this, we have to draw arrows to show the pathway of the crude sap and the pathway of the elaborated. If I start with the elaborated sap, the elaborated sap we studied that it's made up of the organic matter, which is the sugar, and the sugar is made in the leaves. In the leaves, it means up. So in order to be transported, it must be transported down. So I will draw it as arrow that are down until they are in the roots. So this is the pathway of the root sap. Now another one, and this time I will show it as, for example, red. The red one, it will be, this is sorry for the elaborated sap because it was made in the leaves and it will be transported downward. Now, if I want to draw the pathway of the crude sap, remember crude sap is made up of water and minerals. And we know that water and minerals are absorbed from the roots. So they will not stay in the roots. They must go up into the whole parts. So the arrows, they will be up. So I will start from the roots and then I will continue my way up to the leaves because water, they must go up into the leaves. So these are the pathway of the crude and elaborated sap. Now compare the difference between the composition of crude to that of the elaborated sap. So composition, what is the difference in the composition? As you can see, the difference in the pathway, elaborated is transported down while crude is transported up. Now difference in composition, what do both contain? So we can say that the crude sap, it's made up of organic matter. So this question, they are asking us to compare the difference between the composition of crude sap to that of elaborated sap. So the crude sap, we can say that it's made up of water and minerals, while elaborated sap is made up of organic matter, which is starch. Pay attention to the word that we use it while, because we are saying difference. It's wrong to say and we use it when we are talking about similarities of two things that are the same. But because here we have difference, we use while. Number 6, one organ that stores excess dry matter. On the picture, we will draw one organ that store excess starch or excess organic matter. Now we studied that we have two. We have tubers and we have fruit. So the easiest one you can draw. You can draw fruit. For example, you can draw an apple, which is the easiest one to draw it. Or you can draw tuber, but pay attention to the location. Always tuber is under the soil, while fruits are above the soil. Okay, this is for the question about the document. Now let's move to the last question. Observe the following graph. We have a graph. Here I have dry matter kilogram, so it's mass. And here I have growth days, it's age. I have two different plants. We will focus on the one that is in a black one. This is the one that we are interested in. Analyze the above graph. Analyze, as usual, what we see, we will write. Don't write anything from your acquired knowledge. Don't write anything about reason or cause. Why? Don't say why. Don't say because. Don't say since. It's only analyze. So if we start to analyze, we will start that at 115 day, the dry matter, it was almost 260 gram kilogram, and then this quantity or this mass, it continues to increase at day 120, and it becomes, let's say, 280, and then it continues to increase at day 125 to reach 320 gram kilogram, and then it continues to increase until it reaches 360 at 140 days. This is the analyzed graph. Okay, so dry matter is increasing with days. This is my explanation, but what we write that at every day, how much was the mass of the dry matter only without saying why. Then derive a conclusion concerning the name of the process responsible for this variation. Since the mass is varying or is changing by increasing with days, so what is the cause of this variation? The cause of this variation is a process happening in the plant. This process, we can conclude that it's the photosynthesis. So derive a conclusion, it's the photosynthesis. Now, convert the above graph into a table and give it a title. Let's start. To convert it to a table, first, we will draw the table. Always the table of the grass, it's made up of two rows. The horizontal, the one that is up, and the one that is down. Always the one that is up, it's the title of the horizontal line, which is growth days. So here it is growth days. I will write it as abbreviated. So this is the line. Also, this line, we call it X line or X axis. Even in math, we call the horizontal line in a graph, we call it X. And the vertical line, we call it Y. Now, always in the table, in the upper row, we put the title of the X. What is the title? It's growth days. So we will write it here. In the lower row, we will write the title of the vertical line, which is Y, and it is the dry matter. Okay, so these are the two titles. So when you have a graph and they asked you to convert it into a table, first draw two rows. In the first row, always put the title of the horizontal line, which is the x-axis, and down put the title of the y-axis. Then start to copy the numbers. We will start with here. So here I have 115. So it's in growth days, and I should put it up. So here 115. How much was the dry matter? From this point, I will draw another horizontal line to reach the vertical one. The point that it will reach, this will be the quantity of the dry. So it's at the middle. That means it will be 260. So here it will be 260. Okay, this is the way that we can convert it into a table. Let's continue the second one. We will draw another one. So the second day is 120. At 120, here, at 120, we will draw another line that will be perpendicular to the vertical line. This is the point that will be at 120. Of course, this is not accurate, but I'm showing you how you can know every point, what is the one that face it. So 120, and the point at Y or at the dry matter, it will be also 300. With the same way, at 225, I will draw another line and then another one. It should be straight. So here 125, and it will be here 300 20. Then finally at the 140 we have the last one, which will be 380, for example. Okay, so by this way we convert it into a table. Now the title, as usual, as we studied, always it will be the same words with different titles. That means the title will be variation of, always we start by this term. What is the thing that is varied or changing? It's the dry matter. So variation of dry matter between brackets gram, as it's written here. I'm copying the title as function of the title here of X, as function of the growth of the plant days, or in days, you can see. So this is the title. Variation of it's always, it will be in the title. The one that will be changed is the information on the vertical line. The information here is dry matter gram kilogram. So I will copy it as it is because this is the one that I'm studying, but this is the one that is changing. So variation of dry matter as function of, with what? I'm studying this dry matter with what? With year, with days, with month. So as here it's written growth days. So as function of growth of the plant, because already I'm studying dry matter in a plant in days. Okay, this is the answer for the last question. I hope this video is very useful to you and it helps you understand the lesson and it helps you know how to answer such questions. See you in next videos. If you like this video, please hit subscribe and like. Thank you.